To thank middleweight #2 ranked John Davis. Appreciate you for joining me here today to do a fight recap of your middleweight tilt with Jon Kennedy last night. Obviously, you came out with an incredible game plan, and I want to get your perspective of how you thought, the fight went. But going into it, what was your overall thoughts of Jon before you got up there on the main stage for your match?
First, I want to say thank you for having me on. Greatly appreciate it. It's an honor to talk to you. My thoughts on Jon, I knew it was going to be a challenge. He's been a long-time MMA fighter. He's been in plenty of wars and proven himself. So I knew that it was going to be, on my part to go in there as best as I could to, try and take him out if at all possible.
Awesome. Well, let's bring up the match and let's kind of talk frame by frame through here. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So we'll start it. Obviously UFC behind this, did a great production value overall.
Yeah, it's wild to be a part of, to see all the cameras that are involved in this stuff. It's insane.
All right, your first strike. What was your overall thought?
My form was pretty good. I think I was a little bit low with where my hand landed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more of just closer to fingertips and maybe the middle of my palm compared to my the bottom of my palm needing it to where I wanted to be. But I'll take it because it's a clean landed strike. That's what my main goal is for everything.
Totally. It definitely looked like it kind of slipped off the fingertips some more. How much does that play into your mind about not wanting to foul and get a clean strike versus trying to overexert yourself?
I mean, that's every time, especially starting. You don't want to go in there with a foul and then lose a point automatically because then you're down. Getting down in any way, shape, or form, and not even with a striking penalty, but a moving foot penalty. Anything else where a clubbing penalty, anything like that is not what you want to do and end up down, because our cards aren't the same where you have a round to possibly work yourself back to an even round. Like, we don't get that chance.
Totally. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Yeah, you can definitely see there off the fingertips across the nose for sure.
Yeah, definitely not where I wanted it to be, but it was, like I said, at least it was called a clean strike and we were able to move on. I'll take it.
So let's stop here. So as Jon Kennedy's winding up against you here for your first strike, you seem to be very close to the table. What's going through your mind as he's winding up through here at this moment?
I'm just making sure that I'm, obviously I know what's about to happen, but I'm making sure I'm prepared to try and, absorb and roll with it the best I can to take as little damage as possible. But it's also one of those things that until you get at least the first hit in, it's nerve wracking, because it's like, oh, am I going to make it through this one? I haven't been tested since the last time we were down here for it. So it's definitely a question that runs through your mind. If it's, how hard is it going to be to absorb this and, stay on my feet?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's roll and see what happens.
Ooh.
So loud pop. How'd that feel?
Oh, that was a good shot. His technique is definitely different, I'd say, than a lot of other people's, because it looks a little bit shorter, but it's super, I don't know, it just was super quick and definitely had some good power to it. I feel like I was able to at least eat that one and not take, as much damage as he could have given me, for sure.
Yeah, I almost feel if you look back at his slap, it's almost like he cocks his wrist at a very awkward angle. In a sense, it's hard to see it live, but it doesn't seem like he hits it straight. He almost hits.
It turns a little bit.
Turn, correct. So no time wasted. It's quite like, I mean, even half the time you recovered, ready to go, have the chalk on your hand. Is there any game strategy of trying to speed it up and allow, Jon Kennedy to recover less? Are you trying to keep the pace going at all here, or you feel good and you're in the moment and the adrenaline's rushing?
I'm gonna say it's both. Definitely both playing a factor there. You want to get back in there because especially after you take the hit
Mm-hmm.
and you regained your bearings pretty quickly, at least for a lot of us. It's like, okay, well, let's do this now. I'm ready to go. And like you said, that with the time thing, I'm really wanting to watch that time because it plays a factor, at least in because I usually almost always go on 3. I think I've gone on 2 once or twice before,
Yeah.
but 3 is usually my setup. So I want to make sure I have ample time to make sure that I'm set, from the feet up before I even get ready to get winding up.
All right. Awesome. All right. Do you agree with that foul call?
I'm gonna say yes because I trust the refs. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because not that beards play a factor, I don't think, but it's hard to tell because of how quick things go right there.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the refs are there to make those calls because they're live in action, and at least we have the instant replay for them to go back over if they really want to look through stuff and make a call. But this is part of the game, and it's still a learning process. So keeping that accuracy 100% is only an even bigger goal now after having that happen.
Gotcha.
And I do apologize to him right afterwards when he
For
gets
sure.
back
Yeah.
up. Dana thinks so. He said I clubbed the shit out of him, so I'll go with that too.
Yeah. How much do you think that's for TV though?
um, I don't know.
You don't know?
At this point, roll with it anyhow. It is what it is for the TV show.
Totally.
It's all in good fun anyway.
Absolutely. All right. Jon's coming back up here. All right. Round 2. See, it obviously set you back a little bit more. Was there more of an emphasis on that particular strike than the first?
Definitely, that was a clean, hard hit for sure. Once again, being able to stable myself because I definitely had a quick wobble, but my eyes were open at least the whole time, and I was able to just kind of once again set myself and then do what I needed to do, hand them the foam stick as I normally would, and get back to business.
Awesome. Have you been hit harder before, Jon, or has he hit you the hardest so far up to this point?
I'm gonna say maybe one other time in March in a different bout that they haven't really shown yet. That was like one other hit that I would put it as the equivalent at.
Okay.
But I'd say that was the best one that I received while I was down there for the TV show. That's for sure. He definitely, I think I had a bruise maybe or something afterwards.
Mm-hmm. When he's yelling at you here, what's going through your mind?
I figured something like this was going to happen because,
Okay.
of course, there's so many inside jokes from inside the house. That's why at weigh-ins, he's talking about being a real 185. He's yelling at me. He wasn't ready because, of course, I mean, again, inside jokes from the house, everyone just being goofy. And, I mean, I give him, that's a good tactic to try and break my concentration.
Yeah.
But, luckily I was able to just kind of expect something coming and keep my focus, and once again back to business, do what I need to do.
Yeah. Is he kneeling down versus standing straight up in this situation? He's a pretty tall dude.
I'm not too sure, honestly, because I don't really know if how, like, the bend, maybe they'll show a bend in his knees or something.
Yeah.
But no matter what, with how my technique is, I go from down to up anyway.
Yeah.
So happy that was clean.
There we go. Round 3. The ref calls it. On the initial impact, how well did you think you connected?
It felt good. Like I said, I was happy it was clean. It was where I needed it to be, and it was definitely, for it was like a tree falling almost. It took a second to delay for him to finally fall back and hit the ground, and then get up and again start talking to the ref and do their thing.
Did you think it was a good stoppage?
Once again, you have to go. I'm going to go with the ref on that one, because that's his call. If it was me personally, if I had something controversial to say about it, then I would. But he has every right to say that it's controversial. Want to run it back. That is what it is. That's everybody's mindset in this game. I can just only hope that the calls are clear and clean, and that's just what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, so it definitely vindicates your, initial ranking as the number 2 contender. What can people expect from you without giving away too much, but for the rest of the show? Is there anything you can hype people up on?
The next one, my next bout that I have on the TV show is going to be a good one. I can tell you that much. It's a bit wild in different aspects. I can say that.
Cool, man. Awesome. Really appreciate you joining me here on Slap News today, and really hope we see you in the live event coming up on March 11th.
Thank you very much for having me, and appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and looking out for us.